Hey guys, I haven't made a video in a while and I'm out watering my yard in my garden again because it's been super hot and some of the leaves seem a little bit wilted. So I'm going to show you what we have, and let's start off with my sweet potatoes. So here are my sweet potatoes. Um, I actually got all this from one sweet potato about 2 years ago, and then now we just harvest about twice a year, about every 6 months. Because if you try to harvest sooner, it ends up being about like maybe the size of your finger. So we just water it a little extra and just wait a few extra months and it gets pretty big. These are my passion fruit. See, I think one of them, like right here, I think one of them is got ate by either a squirrel, rat, or something. But it's flourishing pretty well. I just can't wait for it to flower. This here is like it's like a Birds of Paradise. It's the sister to it, but it's definitely growing really beautiful. And here's more of my medicinal plants. These right here, they're called, what are those called again? Those are called insulin plants. So the cool thing about this is they will help reduce your blood sugar. And then this one right there, I definitely got to replant that one. That one is a peanut butter plant, so it should give fruit within about 3 years. Definitely not looking too good. It has a small pot, but it grew really fast. Definitely got to weed the area out, but that's part of gardening. When you water it really good, weeds pop out as well. So let's start over here. This plant right there that I'm watering, that is called a sweet almond plant. It's more flowers, no almonds, but what I like about it, it does flower about 8 times a year. Right now it doesn't have any flowers, but when it does attract a lot of wasps and bees and a lot of predator insects that'll eat all the bad insects, but it smells very, very, very good. This beautiful thing here is called a purple Napier. The leaves are green. You can start seeing the purple starting to come out a little bit more. When it gets colder, you would see it gets really purple, so it's really beautiful. That's very easy to grow, chop and drop, more of my ornamental type of design. Here is my mulberry plant. It's different. I'm trying to figure out why these leaves are tiny, appears good. But this one is also mulberry, and it's flourishing pretty well, strong as well. And then I have some other plants growing next to it, which is pineapple, and that's actually straight from the store, so it's growing pretty well. I have another pineapple here. This one is a fig tree, white fig tree. This area I'm really trying to work on the soil. I've been putting a lot of mulch and hay and grass clippings, and it's still turning. It hasn't been doing so well, the area here, so definitely got to get another fig tree and probably place it somewhere else for the soil to be better. This here is our Juliet mango tree. Definitely flourishing. It's grown about a few inches since we bought it. This is our blackberry. We trimmed it up a little bit. Now that it's getting cooler, we'll definitely get some more. And here is our macadamia tree. So that one is, we're bringing it back to life for sure. That's on the west side of our property. This here is one of our avocado trees. This is one of our guava trees, and look what I just harvested. Oh man, if you could smell this, it smells so good. This here is another avocado tree. This was planted by seed. The other one I was showing you was grafted. So this one's doing pretty good. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to grow. This here, if you can see how huge it is, this is one of our yuccas. We have about 19. And that is our ice cream banana. This here is our black Suriname cherry. Here we have, on this row, there's 3 yucca plants. Right here is a muscadine plant. I have 3 chaya plants. Back there I have a plantain. Actually, 2 plantains. And you can see one of them is actually fruiting, so I'm really excited about that. And then as we go back here, I have more bananas and then more of the ornamental. This is, like I said, is great for chop and drop, but also makes the yard look pretty. And the cool thing I forgot to mention about it is it actually attracts flies to it. And the good thing about that is it attracts, well, not just flies, but other bugs to it, and it away from your plant. So, and then that's why you plant another, plant that attracts the predator plants, so that way they're just eating off of each other and they stay away from your plant. So that's a perfect combination. So this plant here is our star fruit, which I am like super surprised because the frost killed it literally down to the roots. And I just like kept watering it. I'm like, oh, whatever, let's just keep watering it and see what happens. And I'd say it's about maybe 4 feet tall, which is pretty cool. Here's our other plantain plant. These are chayas. Chayas are very good for, sorry, I have like a self-watering thing. Chayas are very, very, very nutritious. But here are the plantains, and I am super, super impressed by them. I mean, they're still growing. I'm not sure if we cut this, what to do, but I'm just super, super, super excited that it's growing. Awesome thing is we have some more pups popping up, so that would be great. This one is not really giving us any pups, but we're still watering it. Hopefully it grows. And what really helped it out is since we planted the chayas, it's kind of been like a wind protection. Look at that. It does attract butterflies, which is super cool. Since we planted the chayas, it's been, as you can see, it's kind of like a cove back here, and it's done a really good job to protect the wind from really damaging it. And ever since we did that and just started, we leave a bucket here, and when it rains we collect it, we just dump it on the plant. It's really been super helpful. This little guy here, it's grown about maybe 18 inches, almost 2 feet more since we planted it in December. So this is a pomegranate, and I don't think it's going to be ready to fruit, maybe another year or two, as it's still growing, but I'm really excited. Here is my more yucca. So total, I think I have about 19 yucca plants. So it only takes about a year for it to fully grow. You can harvest within about 6 months or about 8 months, but our neighbors with the banana trees back there, they grow this as well. They're like, wait a full year, because if you wait a full year, you will definitely harvest a bigger portion, and it's been very true. These two are my olive plants, olive trees. It'll take about maybe 4 years for that to fully grow, and before we could actually harvest and then ferment the fruits. But what we did around this, we actually didn't cut the grass around 2 feet of it, because it wasn't growing at first, but what I learned from a different person is just around the base of it for like 2 feet out, don't cut the grass. and just let it be, water it, and it really did well. I would say in the past 2 months it grew maybe a foot by doing that. So it got a little bit out of hand, so I did have to cut it back, but I'm gonna do the same process. And now that we're going, it's towards the end of summer, so hopefully grass will grow a little bit slower. This here is our last remaining papaya plant. I cannot get this to grow any really higher than that. I mean, maybe like a foot higher, but everyone else I know is super successful at growing papaya. I just haven't been. This one actually died 3 times from the frost, from overwatering, and I just literally just chopped it all the way down, and come to surprise, it grew back up. So this one's a real fighter. I'm really hoping that I could get some papayas out of this. This area has been more of my experimental. Really have to weed the area out, but this is all sugarcane, and as you could tell, it hasn't been taken well care of, but the sugar canes are growing. This is regular potato. Don't worry, I know it's wilted, but that's just the sun. Literally within about once it shades, it gets full color again. And this here is my sweet potato, and what we do is just cut the grass and put the clippings right in, and it's literally been going wild. I mean, you could actually see it's starting to flower, so that means it's almost ready. But I'm just gonna let it grow, dump more grass. Really want to get it all the way to the top and see how that would do. This area I had it all cleared out to try to grow sorghum, but I didn't do so successful. But this is the only bit that I've got that survived. Some other we already harvested. We have some that's grown pretty much wild in other places, but that's it. We have some moringa. This one here, is the finger limes, which I'm really excited for it to really fully grow. It's a weird thing on it. That's the finger limes. And then this is mulberry. I literally grew this mulberry from a twig. This is probably the easiest propagating plant on the planet. Literally, you just get a twig, take off the leaves, put it in dirt, and bam, it's grown. And I would say this is about maybe 6 months, and I really got to cut it back. But that's how fast it grows. And then this here is the gandules. We definitely harvest this to make rice and beans. This actually doesn't grow like in a little bush or a little plant. It actually grows like in a tree. So that's pretty good. It'll last about 3 years, then it dies. And it's now facing its 3rd year. So thank you for watching our little tour of what we have. I know it's a little chaos. I've been working like crazy, so I haven't really had much time to do anything in the yard other than water, cut the grass, water, cut the grass. But there's so much more I love to show you. I have garden beds, I have more plants in pots, but I'm really excited this year where I actually got some harvest, and if you could smell this, it's so good. I just can't wait to eat it. If I eat it right now, Raquel might get a little mad because she's gonna want to try some. But thank you for watching, and have a good day.